Good morning, Mary.
Good morning.
Now, before we start talking about the cold weather, let's talk about Meadow.
This sweet little girl is Meadow. She is about 8 weeks old. She's already had her spay surgery, so she's ready to go home with somebody today.
She has some spots on her belly.
Yes, she does.
Cool.
Her markings from her fur are actually also on her skin, which is pretty cool to look at.
And what's her adoption fee?
Her adoption fee today is $70.
$70. And you said that yesterday during your Black Friday special, you found several homes.
It was
for
great.
some pets.
23 cats and 7 dogs found homes yesterday, so we really appreciate everybody coming out and being very patient, waiting to have their adoptions approved.
And now that we have some new pet owners, these folks need to pay special attention to the weather and make sure they take proper care of their pets. What are some tips you can give?
Absolutely. The minimum standard by law is that if you're going to have a pet outside for any length of time, anything beyond a brief potty break, a dog needs to have a dog house. It also needs to have food and water. And again, this is a minimum standard. It's not anybody's recommended standard for their family pet. So if you see a neighbor or a friend with a pet outside, you want to check for those things before you call and tell us that there's an animal in need. If you're someone who, for whatever reason, is keeping your dog outside in a dog house, there are things you can do to make it a little bit warmer. Straw rather than blankets, because the straw doesn't freeze together the way the blankets do. Elevate the doghouse on a pallet or something to get off the cold, damp ground. A deep water bucket that won't freeze as quickly or get knocked over.
Okay, and now if you're a neighbor and you happen to see something that seems a little out of the ordinary, something doesn't seem right, what are some things that we need to be keeping an eye out for?
We want you to look and get good information to call us. We need the exact address. We'd like to know where on the property the animal is located, when the animal is outside. And is the animal running around, or is it lethargic? Is it an older animal, a young animal? Can you tell us what kind of animal, what color it is? Anything to make sure that we can identify the pet once we get to the property to check it out. And call sooner rather than later. Don't wait and say, well, this dog's been outside for 4 nights. Call us after the first night, the first time you see it, so we can go check it out.
Okay, before we let you go this morning, one more time, how can we get Meadow adopted?
Meadow would love to see you today at the shelter from 12 to 5, and Meadow is hanging out in cat room A.
All right, very good. Thanks for the information, Mary. Thanks for joining us. And remember, you can find out more about Meadow and all of our pets of the week. You can watch our previous segments online. Just go to 10tv.com/pets.